A very good afternoon and welcome here to Cusick Park here in Ennis for the 2003 County Senior Hurling Championship Final. Well, for the very first time in 94 years, two teams from the one parish compete for the Canon Hamilton Trophy. Way back in 1909, two teams from O'Callaghan's Mills contested the final, the O'Callaghan's Mills Fireballs and St. Patrick's. And here, 94 years later, two teams from the parish of Clarecastle compete for the Canon Hamilton, Clarecastle Club and of course Ballyea in the black and amber. Referee for this afternoon of course is Tom Stackpool, all the way from Ennis Diamond, and Tom becomes one of the very few referees now refereeing in a county senior football and now a county senior hurling final. On Tom's left hand side as you look down at the picture is Sergio Loughlin all the way from St. Joseph's to Fairfield, and the man on Tom's left hand side and on your right as you look in is Kevin Walsh, who has just been honoured for his services of 30 years to refereeing in the county of Clare and afar. And there onto the field for the very first time in their history is the Ballyea club, all the way from the same parish as Clarecastle, and as I said, history in the making here this afternoon. The familiar inter-county stripes that they wear, of course, are the cats from Kilkenny, but these are cats of far different colour altogether. As I said, the club was formed in 1935, 5 years in existence, and then they captured the Junior A Championship in 1940. 1951, they captured a Minor B title, and then in 1973 was also an important year for the club when they founded the Killowen Minor Club, which again was to nourish quite a number of underage players down through the years. We move on to 1996 when they captured the under 21 title, under 21C title. They then came along and Ballyea won their fourth Junior A Championship in 1999, and the black and amber clad side were back in the intermediate grade. In the millennium year, the club reached the final of the Munster Junior Hurling Championship, while under 14 Division 3 honours were captured the same year. But in 2001, Ballyea bridged a 57-year gap by winning the Intermediate Championship, while the following year they captured their second under-14 divisional title. And the whole parish of Ballyea, if you get my standing, must be here in Cusick Park this afternoon. And they'll make their way over for their photograph. I see Tony Griffin, Paddy O'Connell down there in determined mood, no question about that. Eamon Griffin and of course John Griffin will captain the side this afternoon. Kevin Sheehan, wearing the number 10 jersey of course, only 17 years of age, and haven't seen him in the semi-final. One heroic there in front of the stand when he lost his stick and went to block down the opposing player just with two hands. Well, that's the kind of determination that has earned Ballyea a place in this year's County Senior Hurling Championship Final. Shane O'Neill, of course, Shane in goal, son of Michael, one of the selectors, and also chairman of the club. And you may see quite a bit of Shane throughout the afternoon, not because of attacks by Clarecastle, but Shane thinks to take the long-range freeze, and if the penalty arises, the first man up will be Shane to send that to the back of the net. And that should be very interesting. There's the chairman of the club, Michael O'Neill, also selector. At present, of course, Secretary of Borden Ogamont Unclar, and a very experienced official and many, many years of service to Ballyea and indeed to the county. There's the men in the new gear this afternoon. I think it's their first time wearing this new gear. Maybe I could be wrong on that, but here they are, the famed Tulla Pipers Band. Some people say they have played in more county finals than any other club. How they wish that the Tulla colours could march behind them soon, and indeed that can't be that far away. Clarecastle, of course, this afternoon playing in their 28th County Senior Championship Final. They had honours away back in 1928 when a combination of the Clarecastle and their own captured that title. Two titles won during the Second World War of 1943 and in 1945. In 1949, when Ireland became a republic for the first time, they again captured the title there. 21 years elapsed until 1970, and if you remember rightly, that was the first time that the All-Ireland went to 80 minutes on that particular occasion. 1986, 91, 94 and 97 when they captured Munster honours. Two captains, John Griffin and of course Ken Ralph in for the toss. And of course Tom Stackpool out there, as I said, Pat Fitzgerald out in the middle of the field also. Everybody lining back, Ken Ralph on his way back to his teammates and John Griffin doing likewise for Ballyea. And of course it's a good time to just mention one particular man, familiar indeed to both teams this afternoon, and that of course is Fergie O'Loughlin. Fergie of course starred with Clarecastle on numerous occasions down through the years, but really and truly his record as a coach and as a trainer, and I suppose some people would say a very serious motivator. Actually, he's the coach and the trainer of both teams here this afternoon, and there he's out there in the middle of the field shaking hands to Tom Stackpool, and I'm sure the admiration around the county for the feats of Fergie O'Loughlin are renowned throughout the county, and well done to him, and he had a hard call to make, but then again, no better man. So off they go, behind the Tulla Pipers Band, 2003 County Senior Hurling Final. The Ballyea team wearing the black and amber. In goal, Shane O'Neill. The full back line wearing number 2, Michael Heher. Full back, Tomas Chambers. And number 4 is Rory Long. The half back line wearing number 5, Eamon Griffin. Centre half back, Paddy O'Connell. And left half back, captaining the side, is John Griffin. Centre field is Frankie Griffin wearing number 8. And Alan Carrick, 21 years of age, wearing number 9. The half forward line, 17 years of age, Kevin Sheehan. Centre half forward, Clare star, Munster star and All-Star Tony Griffin. And top of the number 12 is Brian Chambers. The full forward line, Ivan Kilbane, 19 years of age. Full forward is Donald Chambers, and top of the left and free taker is Alan Heher. The Clarecastle side, the black and white of Clarecastle. In goal, Ger Griffey. Full back line, wearing number 2, Mark McNamara. Full back, the experienced Martin Sheedy, and on his left is Ger Kenny. The half back line, wearing number 5, Eric Flynn. Centre half back, the experienced man again of Stephen Sheedy, brother to Martin, and on his left, no introduction needed, Anthony Daly. Centre field, number 8, young minor, Jonathan Clancy, and wearing number 9, Alan O'Loughlin. The half forward line, Ken Ralph captaining the side wearing number 10. Centre half forward, Clare panellist and Clare star Conor Plunkett, and on his left another Clare man, Denny Scanlon, wearing number 12. The full forward line, number 13, Shawnee Maloney. Number 14, Derek Quinn at full forward, and on his left, Clare minor star this year is Tyrone Kearse. That's the way it stands at the moment as the teams go. John Griffin driving his team on, and as you can see there, Shane O'Neill looking very, very composed indeed as they march in front of the northern stand, and quite a bit of excitement here in Cusack Park this afternoon. Ken Ralph, of course, will take top scorer with 2 goals and 34 points so far in the championship this year, and I think Alan Heher has 1 goal and 23 scored. No doubt they will add to that this afternoon. And here, maybe we can indulge in a little bit of nostalgia. There right in the middle of your picture is Anthony Daly. Let's just say, and let's just suppose, that this game ends in a draw, and in 2 weeks' time if we had a replay, well, is it quite possible that for the first time in our memory that maybe the new Clare manager might be playing in a county final? How many people would like to answer that here on this Sunday afternoon? It's a buzz of excitement here in Cusack Park, and a big crowd gathered up on the far side of the field, and as I said, quite a bit of interest in this campaign. And of course Ballyea, only 2 years ago, capturing the intermediate title. Last year they found the going tough to stay in the senior championship, but this year unbeaten so far in this year's county senior championship, and here they are today. Clarecastle of course suffered defeat on their very first game, going down to 6 Mile Bridge in the league series of that. And of course Clarecastle Club, huge development going on down there, and indeed state-of-the-art facilities. for them to look forward to, and they will really look forward to winning a title, having suffered defeat in last year's County Senior Championship final. Tommy Howard, Fergie O'Loughlin, Pat Healy and Victor O'Loughlin. They're the men in charge of the Clarecastle side, while Michael O'Neill and Jerry Long and of course Sean Griffin and Leonard McNamara, the men in charge of Ballyea. Oran Navian. "94 years since it happened last, and it could be many lifetimes before it happens again. Who is to know?" Clarecastle versus Ballyea, the county senior hurling final of 2003. Clarecastle going into this as the strongest of favourites. Right, referee Tom Stackpool ready to throw in the ball as we get underway here for the very first final. There's side distractions going on the far side of the field. Referee Tom Stackpool going over to the far side. That's John Griffin over there at that side of the field, of course, and that's Ken Ralph, the Clarecastle captain. And Tom comes back again, getting ready as both teams anxiously await to throw in to get this game underneath, and in it goes. And the first man to get in place up along the far side of the field, coming across here to get it, is Brian Chambers. Brian beaming down on goal, cutting down now. He's on the 45-metre line, takes a look at the post, and the ball just goes to the right and wide, and that would have been a sensational start for Ballyea, with only one man getting in touch with the ball. That was Brian Chambers wearing number 12 there for Ballyea. As I said, nervous moments for both sides here at the very start of this game, and the two men that was tussling there early on at the start, the ball drops down between them, but Tyrone Kears with the green helmet coming across the goal, and there's Tomas Chambers comes out to meet him, and Tomas with the one-handed swing giving away the very first free of this county senior hurling championship final. And Ken Ralph, as I said, top scorer, 2 goals and 34 points in this year's Senior Hurling Championship so far, and it would be safe to say that this could possibly be the opening score of the game of the county final. And over the bar it goes, and there's Ken Ralph having the opening score of this championship final for a foul there on Tyrone Kears from Tomas Chambers there, operating at fullback for, of course, for the Ballyea side. With the puck out, coming down into the middle of the field, where it's caught by Alan Carrick. Alan driving the ball across to the centre. There missed. It comes across here to Denny Scanlon. Denny sending the ball back up along the far side of the field, but there, wait for it, is the Ballyea man. Ballyea man being Alan Carrick. He's blocked down in the centre of the field. But again, Paddy O'Connell comes over it, sends the ball out onto the middle of the field, and now that's the first free of the game for Ballyea. Remember when I told you that Shane O'Neill would feature big time in this final? He's just about to arrive, and there he is. Shane just outside his own 45-metre line. A low ball going to drop on the 21. Up it goes Ivan Kilbane. There's Donald Chambers there. Ball comes across here to the centre. And there's Jonathan Clancy, Clare minor star this year, making room for himself up along the far side. And attacking ball down into the centre. Again, Tomas Chambers is back there. Tyrone Kears is causing early problems here for the Ballyea men. He sends the ball across the centre, but it's blocked by Tomas Chambers. Comes out to Shawnee Maloney. Shawnee trying to get the ball up, but Michael Herr is there. Michael, a no-nonsense cornerback, comes out to take it, but again, Denny Scanlon He's going to send the ball right across the centre of the field, but again, it's missed there by Derek Quinn. Coming out to get it this time is Ken Ralph, and he's blocked down. Again, Paddy O'Connell, such a prominent figure this year for Ballyea, sending the ball across here. That's the start of the Clare holding. That's Tony Griffin. Again, it comes on here to the centre. A low ball sent down there to the far side of the field by Brian Chambers. He's going into the centre. Donald Chambers is in there. Martin Sheedy is tussling with him. And referee Tom Stackpool blows his whistle for a free out for Clarecastle. Ballyea have settled in very well in this final. A lot of people thought it would be an early blitz by Clarecastle. Maybe it's too early to say something like that yet after 3 minutes of the game. Ger Griffey sending a long free up along the far side of the field. Again, Sean Maloney coming to it. Denny Scanlon creating problems, but beaming down on the goal. Here is Conor Plunkett. Conor making room for himself, comes across, but it's blocked out here by Rory Long. Rory sends it out to the far side of the field, and Tyrone Keels gets the rebound and crashes the ball into the back of the Ballyea net. A tremendous run there by Conor Plunkett. With a man down injured inside in the square, it looks like Derek Quinn. It looks like Derek Quinn is down there. They're going in to attend to him. Derek, of course, won 2 Harty and 1 All-Ireland with Flannans in his day. Derek Quinn being attended to on the far side. Tyrone Kears wearing number 15 at the far side of the field, I think has been credited with that goal. Shawnee Maloney here in this corner. But Derek is going to make his way back. Tyrone Kears, after a good run by Conor Plunkett, sending the ball into the back of the Ballyea net, and that is one start that Ballyea did not need. 1 goal and 1 point after 4 minutes and 40 seconds of the game. Ballyea yet to score, although Clarecastle playing with a stiff breeze here in the first half. A long puck out again by Shane O'Neill, dropping down into the middle of the field. And again, they're there inside. But again, Clarecastle set up a setup. Derek Quinn into the centre. Tomas Chambers close by, but not close enough. The ball is going to drop into Shane O'Neill. Shane, a long clearance out to the far side of the field. Frankie Griffin is out there, but so also is Jonathan Clancy. Ball coming across to the centre. That was Kevin Sheehan sending it across here to Ivan Kilbane and Ger Kenny as they tussle for it. Kenny gives it the nudge out of it, but Donald Chambers. Donald having a look at the goals. Is this the opening score of the game? And it certainly is for Donald Chambers. And that was 1 score that Ballyea needed. And that came exactly on 5 minutes and 30 seconds into this final. They've settled down ever so much. An important score for them. And good work there by Ballyea to register that score. Ger Griffey, again, a puck out into the middle of the field. Ken Ralph again creating early problems. John Griffin, captain, over there, tussling away with it. But again, Rory Long is over there keeping his hands are full this afternoon with Tyrone Kears, but the ball goes out over the line there. So says Kevin Walsh, a line ball to Clarecastle. Five minutes gone. Clarecastle 1-1. Ballyea 1 point. A short line ball has to be retaken again, as the blood substitute is called for here. Tom Stackpool. Pete Devitt, wearing number 18, is going on as a blood substitute. He's going on there as a blood substitute, but that'll only be temporary. A line ball coming all the way across the goal, but it's dropped by Shane O'Neill, but it comes out, and they're waiting for it. Is Eamon Griffin. Eamon gets his clearance out to the far side, but again the ball going out over the line, and that is pressure from Clarecastle all the way. And this could possibly be a second blood substitute for Ballyea. Most unusual, all in the space of 1 minute. Again, Shane O'Neill is down injured inside on the 13-metre line. Line ball coming across the goal. They're waiting for Conor Plunkett, the man whose solo run made this goal, but the ball comes across to the far side of the field. They're gathering it up for Ballyea, beaming out with it. I think we'll get his number. That, of course, was Frankie Griffin. Frankie down this side of the field. Jonathan Clancy, also wearing number 8. Sends the ball across to the far side of the field. But again, it comes into Tyrone Kears, causing huge problems there early stages. But the ball is blocked down there by Paddy O'Connell. And it comes out to Ken Ralph, captain of Clarecastle. Again, Ballyea keep fighting for this and they're keeping out the Magpies. But again, they come away, and that was Tomas Chambers. A long ball down the centre, missed by Tony Griffin. Double on there by Stephen Sheedy. But again, it comes to number 5, and that's Eric Flynn. Eric, a long ball in. Shane O'Neill, no problem dealing with this one. Mashing ball out to the far side. Tony Griffin making room for himself. Sending the ball right down the centre. Donald Chambers, and Donald just after the second ball. And again, it's a free in for Ballyea. Nine minutes gone. Clarecastle 1-1. Ballyea 1 point. Alan Heher, 1 goal and 23 points to his credit in the senior championship so far. And a very good time to make it 1 goal and 24 in the championship this year, as he neatly slots that one over the bar with 9.5 minutes gone in the game. It's Ballyea 2 points, but Clarecastle leading on a goal and 1 point. Puck out again, landing in the middle of the field, and again is picked up by Frankie Griffin. A long ball down the centre, but Clarecastle find themselves on their own, but not for long. Not for long as the ball comes out to the far side. Alan Heher is in there. Coming across the far side is Frankie Griffin, and again Frankie Griffin takes off, but referee Tom Stackpool is calling back Mark McNamara. He's having a few words with Mark McNamara, Clarecastle cornerback, and Tom Stackpool, no doubt whispering 1 or 2 things in his ear at this point in time. Down injured for Ballyea. We'll get his number now in just a moment, but he looks okay. He's going again. Alan Heher lines up for yet another free, and this could edge Ballyea even closer to their fellow parishioners of Clarecastle. It's looking good. Ger Griffey looks up, and the ball is once again slotted straight over the bar from Alan Heher. And now it's Clarecastle 1-1. It's Ballyea 3 points with 11 minutes gone in this senior championship final here for the Canon Hamilton Trophy. As I said, Clarecastle competing in their 28th final, Ballyea in their very, very first. Ball coming out, there's Shawnee Maloney coming for it. But again, the magnificent Frankie Griffin gets in his stick. But again, Shawnee Maloney now moving out, operating in the half-forward line, sending it into the far side. In there, inside is John Griffin. John coming out with it, hand pass out to the far side of the field for young Kevin Sheehan. 17 years of age, fails to control it. Ball still in play, ball not in play anymore. Clarecastle line ball, says linesman Kevin Walsh. (1-1) for Clarecastle, 3 points for Ballyea. With the Tyrone Kears goal, a very important score so far in this game. Line ball coming in on the 13-metre line. Shawnee Maloney fails to control it. He's going to be tackled by Michael Herter, but he doesn't. Tomas Chambers sends it in. The ball comes into the centre. Again, is Clarecastle lining up for this one as Derek Quinn. Derek trying to bring him inside, and he does. He gets inside Tomas Chambers, and again it comes back. Frankie Griffin is there. Running out for it now is Michael Herter, the man with the red helmet, and what a performance he's had during the year in this senior hurling championship. Again, the ball goes out of his hand, but referee Tom Stackpool blows for a free out, penalising Tyrone Kears there for a foul on Michael Heher. And again, Shane O'Neill coming out to take it on his own 13-metre line. A long delivery, landing inside their own 65, and again coming out with it out to the far side of the field. And again it comes to Frankie Griffin, Trojan work in the middle of the field. And again it's yet another free for Clarecastle, for Ballyea. Again, as Clarecastle continue, they're beginning to foul just a little bit more. I think, it's because of the fact it's the determined performance by Ballyea so far. And again, here we have Shane O'Neill with the opportunity to level the sides. Just outside his own 65. And again, we keep the eye on the Clarecastle goalkeeper, Ger Griffey, and Shane O'Neill has levelled the sides here after 13 minutes of the first half. It's Clarecastle 1-1, Ballyea 4 points on the 13 minute. And again, Shane O'Neill, as I said, will play a big part in this from place balls, from penalties, from puckouts, and hopefully from saves. Ger Griffey with the puck out. Frankie Griffin is under it. One of them in the under it. Again, Brian Chambers is there. Brian is there, and Eamon Griffin is also there. Again, Brian is back wearing number 12 on his jersey. The ball comes out to the centre of the field. It's got now by Tony Griffin, playing very deep in his own half. And again, Alan Herr goes out to meet that. But then there's that Anthony Daly. Anthony driving a long attacking ball right up. It's going to drop down the centre between Tomas Chambers. But again, Ken Ralph is beaming through, and he's got home a goal. An absolute breakthrough in the Ballyea full back line, and very neatly, top scorer in the county this year, Ken Ralph, neatly pulls on it and slots it into the back of Shane O'Neill's net. It's anxious moments in the Ballyea full back line, and they've given away 2 goals and a point here inside the first 14 minutes, and I don't think they can afford to do that, hoping to capture the Cannon Hamilton. Tony Griffin is on the attack on his own 21. He takes a shot, it goes in, but it goes to the right hand side of the goals. Ger Griffey's left, and the ball goes wide. That was a superbly taken chance there by Ken Ralph, as I said, latched on to a loose ball and neatly slotted it home. That was all in the 14th minute of the game. Clarecastle 2 goals and 1 point. Ballyea 4 points, 15 minutes, halfway through this first half. Ger Griffey with the puck out, landing dead down the centre. Conor Plunkett, Paddy O'Connell go up for it. They beam through. Eric Flynn is there. He's beaming down a goal against Shawnee Maloney. He's going to set up. He's going for another goal, and it is another goal from Shawnee Maloney. And Clarecastle are absolutely tearing the backmen from Ballyea apart as they break through on numerous occasions. And again, they have registered their 3rd goal inside the first now 15 minutes, 43 seconds of this game gone. And Shawnee Maloney, 3 goals and 1 point for Clarecastle, 4 points for Ballyea. And Ballyea now will be anxious that they're giving away. They both have 4 scores, but they're very different when 3 of them are goals. Stephen Sheedy coming out for the Clarecastle attack, setting it up along the far side of the field. But again, referee Tom Stackpool is calling over. Centre half forward for Ballyea, Tony Griffin. Again, I've no doubt he's getting some assistance from other Ballyea players, but Tom doesn't want any of that. He's still holding on to Tony Griffin. Again, Stephen Sheedy coming in. Maybe a word of encouragement there. He's speaking to the 2 players. Ballyea, no doubt at this stage, would need to get a grip somewhere in the full back line. 3 goals and 1 point for Clarecastle. As Tom Stackpool continues to speak to Tony Griffin and to Stephen Sheedy. And a yellow card there for Tony Griffin for his tackle on Stephen Sheedy, centre half back, an experienced player indeed for Clarecastle. Mark McNamara and Brian Chambers in for the toss. The ball goes off Jonathan Clancy, and it's a line ball for Ballyea. What a goal would do for Ballyea at this point in the game, or even to keep one out again at the other end, and that's proving to be very, very important for Ballyea to stay in this County Senior Championship hurling title. But it's a long, long way to go. 17 minutes 30 seconds gone. Clarecastle 3-1, Ballyea 4 points. Alan Carey, a superb ball, landing on the 13-metre line. It's breaking through. Anthony Daly is in there. He sends the ball out to the corner, coming out to get that, but he's fouled. Again, he's fouled over here on the far corner. It's hard to get a number on him. And that's Eric Flynn. Eric was fouled there in the corner. And coming over to take this is Anthony Daly. Fergie McDonough
Showing him where to take it is Anthony Daly. Long ball going to drop right in the middle of the field. Up goes John Griffin for it. The ball bypasses him. It goes to Shawnee Maloney. Rory Long is over there on the far side of the field. And again, Clarecastle are giving away very simple frees. And it's setting up Ballyea attacks all the time. So maybe they'll have to do something about that also. Shane O'Neill coming out for yet another long range free. Again, we always keep our eyes on the goalkeeper, Ger Griffey. Up it goes. Chambers pulling there on it, but the ball is caught there by Ger Kenny, sending the ball out to the far side of the field to Jonathan Clancy. Again, setting up this up along the far side. John Griffin, Ballyea captain, going out for it. He's tackled by Conor Plunkett. The ball goes out over the line and it's deemed to be a Clarecastle ball. Alan O'Loughlin wearing number 9 for Clarecastle. Son of Victor O'Loughlin, of course, selector on the Clarecastle side. He's cut going into the centre, but it's blocked there in the centre by Eamon Griffin. Eamon's into the cross, but Conor Plunkett gets it. And Conor looks, and he's looking good. It's looking very good, and it's straight over the bar, right over the head of Shane O'Neill in the Clarecastle goal. In the Ballyea goal, and again it's another point for Clarecastle, which leaves the score 19 minutes into the game. Clarecastle 3 goals and 2 points, Ballyea 4 points. His puck out is going to land again around the 45-metre line. Clarecastle go back for it. That's Alan Heher. Alan, he's blocked down. He's blocked down there by Mark McNamara. Again going through is Kevin Sheehan. Kevin again is fouled. Kevin is being fouled over there. Eric Flynn, I think, the culprit for it. And referee Tom Stackpool decides to move 10 yards forward. Stephen Sheedy maybe is having words there. But again, Alan Heher is going to stand over this one. Will this be point number 3 for Alan? And point number 5. And yes, it is. It's point number 5 for Ballyea as Alan Heher records his 3rd free of the afternoon to leave the scores exactly 20 minutes into the game. Clarecastle 3-2, Ballyea 5 points. Ger Griffey, the quieter of the goalkeepers so far this afternoon, sending a long ball. He's blocking the own 65. Again, John Griffin, what a performance John is putting in. A real captain's pair, keeping Ballyea in this game. Ball coming out to the far side where Eamon Griffin is there. But Eamon sending the ball out. Conor Plunkett coming out, getting it up. He's going to be tackled, but he sends the ball across to the centre. And again, Brian Chambers, and Brian is covering acres of ground out there in Cusick Park this afternoon, and again helping out with defence and indeed there in attack as well. So again, another free for Ballyea and another free for this man, Shane O'Neill. Inside his own 45-metre line. As I said, what a goal would do for Ballyea and indeed for this game. A long ball is going to drop on the edge of the square. Up they go for it. It lands. Martin Sheedy is there. The old reliable himself, sending the ball out along the far side of the field. Eric Flynn is out there. Up they go for it. Up goes John Griffin. Up goes John Griffin and Derek Quinn also. But the ball coming across the centre and a long attacking ball coming in from the far side. Ger Kenny is there. Ger Griffey is there. And they're both delighted to see that one go out over the in line and wide. 22 minutes. Clarecastle 3 goals and 2 points. Ballyea 5 points. Out it comes again. Up they go for it. Michael Heher, first timing it out to the far side of the field. Shawnee Maloney is out there. Shawnee gets inside his man, sends the ball across, but Shane O'Neill, safe pair of hands in there, collecting the ball, sending it out to this far side of the field. And that's Mark McNamara setting up another attack. He's tackled by Tony Griffin, but he's still making edgeways right in. He's on the clock at Ballyea 21. Again, that man back there, Brian Chambers, is back there again. But he gets the ball. It's dropping, and it's dropping wide. Relief again for Ballyea as the attacks seem to come from the middle of the field. But they're getting control of it. They've settled down quite a bit here. But the goals may yet prove to be a major setback to them. Quite a strong breeze there. Don't forget that. Keep that in mind. A short puck out this time. First one in this game. comes to Kevin Sheehan. It didn't work on that particular occasion as Paddy O'Connell comes in with a very, very heavy shoulder there on the Clarecastle man. That was Eric Flynn there on the far side of the field. A good shoulder tackle. Of course, it was innocent in Paddy's eyes, but Tom Stackpool, I'm afraid, has other views. Ken Ralph, as reliable as anybody from Freeze, again lines up this one. And again, it goes right between the posts, and Clarecastle, again, they stretch their lead to 7 points. Clarecastle, 3 goals and 3 points. Ballyea, 5 points, 23 minutes and 50 seconds into this game. The puck out by Shane O'Neill against the wind. John Griffin is there, but again, Clarecastle clean it up there on the half-back line, drops the ball, comes into the far side. They're out there fighting for it. Alan Heher is out there. Jonathan Clancy is coming away, but Jonathan, there's a leg somewhere, and Jonathan is up injured. And again, it's another free out for Clarecastle. Anthony Daly standing over it. The breeze is worth mentioning at this stage. The flag on the far side of the field is in full flight, so maybe we don't get it here. The ball is dropping in. It's dropping in the edge of the square. There's the anxious area in there for Ballyea. Again, the ball is coming out. Conor Plunkett, he's going to get inside. He's getting inside Eamon Griffin. He makes space for himself, but the ball goes wide. Conor is protesting, but the umpire has no doubts. He has no doubts in his mind, and it's a wide ball for Clarecastle. Again, Conor Plunkett, his strength, very, very prominent indeed for Clarecastle on the attack. The ball comes out this time. Eamon Griffin takes the second short puck out, but again it just drops right in the middle of the field where Alan O'Loughlin is there. Alan right up to Jonathan Clancy. Jonathan over across to the far side to his fellow man in the minor team, both competing in the minor final in a week's time. Tyrone Kearse gets in on this one. He gets it up. He's beaming down on goal. He's going to be tackled by Tomas Chambers. He's tackled by Tomas Chambers, but again it's that threat that's coming from Clarecastle. They're running at the Ballyea backs, and it's creating a lot of problems for the men from Ballyea in there. Clarecastle 3-3. Ballyea 5 points, 25 minutes in the first half. Again, Ken Ralph standing over this one. And again, Ken Ralph stretches the Magpies lead with yet another point from a place ball. Such an accurate free taker throughout the championship, and as I said, top scorer in the senior hurling championship. The ball comes out, a shot puck out, didn't work this time either. It comes to Conor Plunkett, and Conor sends it back in, but again he sends it wide. And that's the third short puck out for Ballyea, and only one has worked so far. Shane O'Neill again landing right in front of the stand. This got fantastic catch by Tony Griffin. Again, he's beaming down. He's 45 metres out. He takes a look at the goals, but Tony will not be happy with that one. Ballyea could have done with that fantastic score after a superb catch out here on the line. 3-4 to 5 points in favour of Clarecastle, and we're going into the 27th minute of the game. Ger Griffey waiting for directions from referee Tom Stackpool for the puck out. Again, it's a long puck out, landing on the 45-metre line. The ball breaks between Tony Griffin and Jonathan Clancy. Jonathan loses it but gets it up. Again, back there in the middle is Alan Carey. Alan trying to get in his shot. He gets it in on the ground this time. Paddy O'Connell is there. Paddy again, now on his own 65, an attacking ball into the centre. Back there inside is Alan Heher. Alan, but Martin Sheedy, that's Stephen Sheedy. Stephen Sheedy coming out with the ball. Stephen is fouled and it's a free out for Clarecastle. And you have to note the outstanding service that Stephen Sheedy and Martin have given to Clarecastle down through the years, and many years at that, not to mention this man here. Again, the attacking ball comes up. It's dropping inside, and that sends it across to the far side of the field. And again, Shawnee Maloney is under it. Shawnee, he has the ball in his hand. He's trying to get inside Michael Hare. Rory Long. Again, very close to the ground indeed for Shawnee Maloney. It didn't work, Shawnee, this time. And Tom Stackpool has blown Again, Shawnee for picking the ball off the ground. Unusual, but it happened on this occasion. Shane O'Neill, shot ball. Again, goes to Denny Scanlon. Again, it's a ball that Ballyea has to be more alert to. Tyrone Kears, 44 out, has a look at the goals, and Tyrone Kears again sends it over the bar. That's the way to his goal earlier on, and that's 3-5. Just 5 points for Clarecastle leading here with on the blow of half time, 29 minutes gone. Up they go for it, and that's Brian Chambers. He has covered some ground here this afternoon. He's beaming down on the goal, 45 metres out. Anthony Daly is there to cut off the attack. Again, it comes out to Jonathan Clancy, and for the second time in a minute, Clarecastle penalised for picking the ball off the ground. Alan Heher standing over this one. And Alan again sending it over for his 4 point here in this county final. Brian Chambers down there driving his men on in the middle of the field, trying to get the most out of Ballyea, and in fairness they have the wind assistance in the second half, and maybe that's something to look forward to. Geography again awaiting instructions from Tom Stackpool. For the puck out, Ger Griffey with the wind behind him, 45 metres out, up goes John Griffin for it, Conor Plunkett also. But the ball comes to the captain of the team, John Griffin. A long ball down this side, Stephen Sheedy breaking through, but Ivan Kilbane is there to back him up. And again, Brian Chambers. Keeping Clarecastle in it, that will be deemed as a clash ball, and that's a wide ball. But again, they'd have to note tremendous work from Brian Chambers for Ballyea in the middle of the field. Ger Griffey again with this puck out a few years ago, played in goal of course for a Clare team at 14 years of age. Again, Shawnee Maloney trying to get inside his man, and that's Michael Heher over there with the red helmet on the far side. And again, another free in for Clarecastle and another free in for Ken Ralph. This will really test him, but he's more than up to sending this one right out on the line, 21 yards out. Not a problem. As Ken Ralph again sends that one straight between the posts. It's 3-6 for Clarecastle, 6 points for Ballyea, and we're gone into injury time here in the first half. Shane O'Neill again with the puck out. Up they go for Stephen Sheedy, pulling first time with it. Ger Kenny is there. Ger collects it first time, doubles on it, sends it down to Conor Plunkett. Conor again setting up the attack inside. As that one goes out over the in line and wide for Clarecastle, but very, very slick hurling there with Ger Kenny setting up Conor Plunkett, but that one just going out over the in line and wide before anybody could get to it. Again, Shane O'Neill landing the ball right here in the middle of the field. A brilliant catch again from Tony Griffin. And Tony really, really needs to be on his bike for this particular game. He's edging on the line. He sends in a smashing ball across to the far side of the field. But standing in behind that is Kevin Heher, or Kevin Sheehan. Kevin is waiting in there. Ivan Kilbane is in there also. No doubt Martin Sheedy is in there, and Ger Kenny. They're all in there waiting anxiously. Tom Stackpool going to make the call one way or the other. He looks like he's going to throw this one in on the 21-yard line, but he needs a bit of room first. Tom sending players back from the back of the field. We didn't quite see what happened there, but there is a player on the ground. There is a player on the ground, and again, referee Tom Stackpool is speaking. Not quite sure who he's calling, but there's a very, very... It looks like Frankie Griffin is being called. He's coming back out. Is he going to talk to Frankie Griffin? Ger Kenny is there. Looks like Tony Griffin. No, it's not. It's Frankie Griffin. He's having a few balls with Frankie on the 21, on the 21 metre line. Frankie, of course, just as the ball was about to be thrown in, something happened somewhere. Frankie Griffin is being penalised for it, and it's another yellow card for Ballyea. Now the ball is going in again. Stephen Sheedy is in there. Stephen Sheedy is in there with Donald Chambers. But out they come with it. Out comes Eric Flynn with the ball. And there goes the half-time whistle here in the County Senior Hurling Championship Final of 2003. Clarecastle are surely in pole position now, leading on a scoreline of 3-5 to their fellow parishioners Ballyea on 6 points. Clarecastle with a nice win behind them in the first half. They were expected to move into a comfortable zone. They look like they're in that now, but there's still 30 minutes to go in this one as Ballyea may regroup. And what a goal would do here for this game at the start of the second half. Anthony Daly, Martin Sheedy making their way in. Again hoping to capture yet another county championship title for the Magpies. But they no doubt know that there's still a long way to go in this one. As Tom Stackpool throws in the ball for the start of the second half. Goals from Ken Ralph, Tyrone Kearson, Shawnee Maloney in the first half, and Clarecastle lead at half time 3-6 to Ballyea's 6 points. And Alan Carey setting up the very first attack, but the ball comes across to the centre. Stephen Sheedy is there, and once again it's a free in for Ballyea for a foul on a Ballyea player there on the 45-metre line just at the beginning of the second half. Clarecastle 3-6, Ballyea 6 points. Clarecastle again, as I said, competing in their 28th final, and Ballyea in their very first. Alan Heher, what a start this would be to the second half, and a good start it is as Alan once again sends it straight over the bar, and they now Ballyea are 7 points, and they needed a good start like this here in the second half. Again, I keep saying it, what a goal would do for Ballyea and indeed for this game. Ger Griffey with the puck out. It's going to land right in the middle of the field there where Loughlin send the ball down the far side of the field. John Griffin sending Ballyea into the attack again. Donald Chambers in there in front of the goal. But again he's tackled, but Donald gains position. A strong character he is. He's going to get in a dropping ball. It's going to drop into Ger Griffey. In goes Ivan Kilbane, but no, the ball goes over the bar, and Donald Chambers again driving Ballyea on 2 points inside the first minute from Alan Heher, and now from Donald Chambers, full forward on the team, 3-6 to 8 points. What a revival for Ballyea on the way? Question mark. Ger Griffey with the puck out. Again it's going to land just outside the 45-metre line. Up they go for it, but there's Denny Scanlon, and Denny just ready to take off, but out went the leg. I think it was John Griffin. Maybe I'm wronging you, John, in that one, but again it's going to be a free in. And Ken Ralph coming out Munster Player of the Year in 1997. That was the last time Clarecastle won the County Senior Hurling Championship, and indeed took Munster honours, and that year going down in the semi-final of the All-Ireland Club on a replay, if my memory serves me right, to Burr. Ken Ralph on the 45 and gets one back for the Magpies. As he sends that one straight over the bar, it's Clarecastle 3-7, Ballyea 8 points. And whatever win we were talking about in the first half is now with the Ballyea men. And it's all hands on deck. A long puck out from Shane O'Neill, just dropping outside the 21-metre line. But again, Martin Sheedy coming across, tearing out with the ball on his own 45, hoping to set up a Clarecastle attack. Can't swing the hurley, but now he does on the ground. But it comes there now to Eamon Griffin. Eamon, a ball right up to the corner, but all alone up there is Ger Kenny. And Ger is going to scoop this one. He's going to be tackled by that man again, Brian Chambers, sending the ball down. Ivan Kilbane is out there. Anthony Daly, Mark McNamara is out there, Denny Scanlon is there as well, but Tony Griffin, Tony getting the ball out on the far side. Again the umpire keeps a close eye on it, but it goes to the left and it goes wide. And again Ballyea showing some character here at the beginning of the second half here. It's Clarecastle 3-7, Ballyea 8 points. Ger Griffey again with the puck out, landing about 55 yards out. Up they go for it, and that was a fantastic catch by Eamon Griffin. Again, Tony Griffin is inside under it with Anthony no, that was Mark McNamara over there on the far side, and Mark has been deemed for a foul on Tony Griffin, and it's a free in to Ballyea and Alan Heher again is going to come out to take it. Did I say Tony Griffin? It certainly wasn't. Of course, it was Kevin Sheehan, the 17-year-old from Ballyea, who was fouled there for the free in for Alan Heher and again for Ballyea. Alan standing over it. Again, every ball here in this second half is going to be an important ball for Ballyea. Alan, 47 metres out. And again, he sends it over the bar, over Ger Griffith's bar. And again, the umpire waves the white flag. And Ballyea, again, fighting to get back into this game. With the wind behind him, Anthony Daly there in the corner, marking Alan Heher at the moment. Ger Griffith ball is going to land between Conor Plunkett and Ballyea captain John Griffin. But it comes out to the far side. Colm Gavin has come on here at the start of the second half. And Colm again for a foul there on Derek Quinn for Ballyea. And again, it's a game, quite a number of frees here in this game. Anthony Daly again coming across to take it. Almost in the dead centre of the field. Taking a look at the goal, Shane O'Neill is in there. Hoping and watching and watching and watching, and as what he sees is the ball going straight over the bar. And again, Clarecastle are keeping the Ballyea men at bay. A point for Anthony Daly. And now we are 5 minutes, 20 seconds into the second half. Clarecastle 3-8, Ballyea 9 points. Again, Shane O'Neill with the puck out. Up goes Stephen Sheedy. Up goes Tony Griffin. Out there is Kevin Sheehan. Ivan Kilbane. Ivan trying to get his shot in, but it comes again to Kevin Sheehan. Again, he's hooked there out on the far side of the field by Eric Flynn. But again, it comes across. It's stalemate around the 45. Martin Sheedy has other ideas about that. Comes to Derek Quinn. Again, up along the far side of the field. Shawnee Maloney coming out for it. And again, he's there, number 29. Haven't got his number with me. Sent him off. And again, it's been blown for a free in for Clarecastle. And again, it looks like, yes, Ken Ralph coming over to take it. The fouling, I'm afraid, is dominating quite a part of this game. And quite a number of frees, even on both sides, as we look here at Ken Ralph. Quite a number of years on the Clare panel. And we can see directly his line of fire here. And let me tell you that this one is looking to go slightly to the left. And yes, it does. It goes to the left and wide, and I would say that would be his first wide of the day for Ken Ralph. Ballyea need a score here to get back into this game. But I'm sure Ken Ralph and his Clarecastle teammates will have other ideas. As Shane O'Neill, again, a ball is going to lob right inside their own 45-metre line. Denny Scanlon is back there. Mark McNamara is back there. He's coming. He's getting in his shot. He sends it across to the far side of the field for John Griffin, taking the captain's pair. First timing it right up to the far side of the field. Eric Flynn is there. Eric with the black helmet. Again getting a low hacking ball down this side of the field. Down to Ken Ralph. Ken getting it back into the centre to Jonathan Clancy. Jonathan running onto it. He's going to be tackled by Alan Carey. He gets in his shot. But Shawnee Maloney trying to get inside his man. He sends the ball across to the centre for Derek Flynn. Derek takes one look at the goals and the ball goes straight over the bar, and that's an excellent score for Clarecastle. Worked all the way from the back from Eric Flynn, back in the half-back line, all the way up along to Ken Ralph, to Jonathan Clancy, into Shawnee Maloney. And it ended up with yet another Clarecastle score, 3-9 to 9 points. Clarecastle lead. A brilliant catch out there on the far side of the field by Eric Flynn. Again, he sends it down to Ken Ralph. Again, an attacking ball into the centre. Tomas Chambers is there. Tomas is going to be tackled by Derek Quinn, but he gets the ball across to the centre. Denny Scanlon is there all on his own waiting for it, as indeed is Eamon Griffin from that attack. Sending the ball up along the far side of the field. Ivan Kilbane goes up for it, but Stephen Sheedy is back there, lording it out there in the middle of the field. His long attacking ball is going to land just outside the 45-metre line. Tyrone Kears had his eye on it all the way. It came that way. Tony Griffin is there. Tony, deep inside his own half, trying to get some room, trying to get some space, but he sets up the attack and it stands at the feet of Stephen Sheedy. The ball comes out to this far side of the field again. Again, it's Eric Flynn coming away with it. Down along this far side. That's the number 18. Let me get you. He's Gary Farmer. Gary sends the ball into the centre, but Shawnee Maloney is beaming down a goal. He's pulled down. He's pulled down there by Tomas Chambers, just outside the square. I think it was just outside the small square. Let's see how right we are. But Shawnee Maloney there from a brilliant breakthrough, beaming down on goal. Very little choice indeed for Tomas Chambers. But again, Tom Stackpool goes in. And Tom is giving him a ticking there to Tomas Chambers, who now anxiously awaits this Kinralph 21-yard free. Maybe it's a little more than the ticking Tomas is going to get here. 3 goals and 9 points for Clarecastle. It's a yellow card for Tomas Chambers there for a foul on Shawnee Maloney as he broke through at Kinralph. Neatly sends this one straight over the bar, and Clarecastle stretch their lead to 3-10 to 9 points as we are 9 minutes and 20 seconds in to the second half of the County Senior Hurling Championship title. 28 final for Clarecastle. Very experienced side. Tony Griffin collecting the ball in the middle of his own field. Talk about experience. Anthony Daly up along the far side of the field. The ball just goes off the stick of Eric Flynn out there for a Ballyea line ball. Paddy O'Connell, centre half-back. Is he coming across to take it? Yes, he is. Brian Chambers, of course, there also. Paddy, a member of the CLARE 21 team this year. 21 panel and team this year. And of course going down here in Cusick Park to a Tipperary side much earlier in the year as Paddy places that ball. Derek Quinn is coming off the Clarecastle team and going on is number 20, John Casey. Tiny, I think they call him. Paddy just about to take it, but decides to replace the ball out here just outside the 45-metre line. A ball going right into the centre, loads of air, not much length, but the ball goes out to the side. No, it's kept in place by Alan Harrer. Alan sending it across, trying to find Tony Griffin, finds him, but he's not in a great position as Tony gets the ball across the far side of the goal. Ivan Kilbane is up for it, and Ivan has a look at the goals, and he sends it straight over the bar. Great work there by Tony Griffin in the corner, and indeed also to Alan Harrer, setting up Ivan Kilbane there as Ballyea again register another score. 3-10 for Clarecastle, 10 points for Ballyea, 10 minutes, 50 seconds gone here in the second half. As the wind is picking up nicely. Again, I know, I repeat myself, but what a goal would do for this game and for Ballyea. Ger Griffey, once again with the puck out. It's landing right down in the middle of the field. John Griffin is there. John, ball taken off him. Conor Plunkett gets it in. A one-handed brilliant pass across to the centre where Kinralph is there, but Shane O'Neill is under control in this one. A long clearance by Shane. It's going to land on the 45-metre line. Up goes Ger Kenny for it. But again, Stephen Sheedy. Experience you couldn't bide. Over there, he's down. He's tackled over there. Ivan Kilbane is over there as well. Ivan trying to get the ball into the centre. The ball breaks through inside to Alan Harrer. It's 1-on-1. It's now 4-on-1, and it's now going to be a free in. A free in for a foul on Alan Harrer. And really it was a situation of a 4-1 that Alan found himself in. It was a 1-1. It became a 4-1. It now becomes a free in front of the goal. For again, and Alan getting back on his feet, as there is quite a bit of argument going on with referee Tom Stackpool. He's very, very close to the notebook, but it's a free, 21 yards out, dead straight in front of the goal. And Shane O'Neill is coming up to take this one. I told you at the start of the game that if there was anything like a penalty coming up, that's the man. They're lining up Geography in the goal. Anthony Daly there on his right-hand side. If this goes in, we have some finish coming up to this game. Don't rule it out. Up comes Shane, anxiously awaiting. I've seen him in action. He can fairly hit this one. Let's see what happens. Up he comes. It's low, it's hard. It's a goal for Ballyea. A goal for Ballyea in 12 minutes, in the 13 minutes. As I said, he bounced it in front of the Clarecastle players and it hit the roof of the net. And it's Ballyea back in this county final. It's Clarecastle 3-10. It's Ballyea 1-10. And here we go for what should be a superb finish. Again, over there on the far side of the field is coming up is John Casey setting up an attack. But Tomas Chambers is in there on the 21-yard line. Tomas should have controlled that. He's going back again to get it. 3 attempts, but it won't come up. Shawnee Maloney has it up and he's beaming down a goal. But referee Tom Stackpool decides there's a free out for picking the ball off the ground.
And there's a bit of a schmozzle going on, something that we could do without in this game. And now we're heading, hopefully, for a grandstand finish in this County Senior Hurling Championship final. 13 minutes, 46 seconds. Clarecastle 3-10, Ballyea 1-10 into the second half. As referee Tom Stackpool tries to restore control inside in the goal. And Shane O'Neill crashing home that 21-yard free. And what an important score this could be yet in this county final. Referee Tom Stackpool, he's going to speak to Tyrone Kears, as I said, a member of the Clare minor team this year, and had the opening score of the game, or the opening goal of the game. And since then we've had 3, 2 for Clarecastle and 1 for Ballyea. I see Michael Heher in there also. I say yellow card for Tyrone Kears. And Shane O'Neill with this free just inside his own 13-metre line. The crowd are rising up here, and what they would love to see is another Ballyea goal, but that's only for to make this an exciting finish. The ball drives in the middle of the field. Jonathan Clancy comes out with it. Jonathan fighting hard for it. In there is Donald Chambers. Donald is in there. Kevin Sheehan is in there. It's a frontal tackle, and that's a free out. A frontal tackle by Donald Chambers, and that's a free out for Clarecastle. It's a free out for Clarecastle, and I think I'm not quite sure who's down on the ground at this stage. Anthony Daly's in there arguing with Tony Griffin. Donald Chambers is in there also. In the background there, you can see Ivan Kilbane, Stephen Sheedy, Gerard Kenny also there. Ken Ralph, the captain of the team, with his back to us, as indeed Paddy O'Connell, centre half back for Ballyea. We can't see the player who's down. It's 15 minutes. 3-10 for Clarecastle, 1-10 for Ballyea, halfway through the second half of this county senior hurling final. And up he gets, and it looks like it's Eric Flynn. It's possibly Eric Flynn, right half back there for Clarecastle, as Anthony Daly stands over this one. Halfway between the 21-metre line and the 45, into the wind, just outside the semicircle. Up he comes. Ball landing in his own 45, up to go for it. Brilliant catch by Conor Plunkett. Again, he's setting it up inside. Tyrone Kears, he's on second mind. Michael Heher trying to close him down. But he gets in his shot, and the shot goes to the left, and it goes wide. Good pressure there from Michael Heher on Tyrone Kears, who has been, in fairness, quite a threat all this afternoon. Again, one of these puck outs comes to the far side of the field, finding Tony Griffin all alone, right here under the stand. A long dropping ball. If it doesn't curl, it doesn't, it didn't, and it's gone wide, and that's a dropping ball that would have been very interesting if that one had gone over. 16 minutes. Clarecastle still leading 3-10 to Ballyea's 1-10 as Ger Griffey lines up once again for another puck out for Clarecastle. Coming out to this side of the field. Up they go for it, but it's first timed absolutely by Ken Ralph down the centre. John Casey in there, setting up Conor Plunkett. A fantastic hand pass as he tries to get a one-way pass into Tyrone Kears. A one-handed pass in, but it works, but there was no need because it's a free in for Clarecastle. And again, Ken Ralph could give that 7-point comfort zone to Clarecastle and to the Magpies if he slots this one over. 3-10 to 1-10. 14 minutes left in this game. And right between the post, Ken Ralph sends that ball. As usual, as I said, it's 3-11 now. It's 1-10 for Ballyea, 3-11 for Clarecastle. Shane O'Neill once again with the puck out. It's landing right on the 45-metre line. Up they go for it. Ivan Kilbane is under it, but Gerard Kenny first times it down to the far side of the field. But Eamon Griffin going out for it. Shawnee Maloney gets there first. He sends the ball across to the far side of the field. Tyrone Kears, he's been tackled by Michael Heher. Donald Chambers comes along, and Donald first times it on the ground, catching the leg of John Casey. And again, referee Tom Stackpool having a word with Tomas Chambers, the Ballyea full-back, just to pull, just a tap on the leg. Well, that's what Donald will say. That's what Tomas will say anyway. No question about that. Ken Ralph. Free taker supreme. Undoubtedly a long way ahead in the scoring chart in the county this year.
Ken Ralph again, and again he stretches the Clarecastle lead by slotting that one straight over the bar. Clarecastle 3-12, Ballyea 1-10. And 12 minutes left in this county championship hurling, senior hurling championship final. Ball drops in the middle of the field. Alan Carrick first times it. But coming out there's Tony Griffin. Tony now collecting the ball in the middle of the field, sending in a long ball. It's going to drop, and it drops wide. And again, Ballyea need to be making something out of those scores. And maybe if they stayed in there for once or twice, you'd never know what might happen. But again, Clarecastle won't mind that. Cher Griffey, again, getting ready for the puck out. Landing right here in front of us. Up goes Alan Carrick for it. Up goes Stephen Sheedy. Stephen down there the far side of the field. John Casey. John playing in front of Donald Chambers, of Tomas Chambers, sending the ball in. But again, they come firing out with it. Out comes that man, that number 29. Again, the ball is taken off him. Again, it comes to Danny. That's John Casey. John Casey sending it in along, but Michael Hare is in there. Michael coming out with the red helmet, sending it out to the middle of the field. Oh, Denny Scanlon is waiting there, all on his own in the middle of the field, but the ball just goes to the left and goes wide. Again, Clarecastle would need just to tidy up a little bit around the middle of the field. But to their credit, they're shoving it up to the Clarecastle men. Now coming on to the Clarecastle team, it's a minor for a minor. It's Niall Dunn coming on for Tyrone Kears at top of the right. And again, Michael Hare standing side by side. Puck out again from Shane O'Neill. We are 20 minutes into the second half. 10 minutes left. Clarecastle 3-12, Ballyea 1-10. Conor Plunkett gone back centre back for Clarecastle. Kevin Sheehan out there also, but Conor coming out with it. Full steam ahead, gets the attacking ball down to the man who either plays at centre back and vice versa at centre forward, and that was Stephen Sheedy. Shawnee Maloney bringing inside his own 45. Stephen Sheedy running onto that, but again it's taken off him. And again, Eamon Griffin is over there on the far side of the field, but Shawnee still has position. He's determined to get this one in, but it comes to Ken Ralph, and Ken sends that one straight over the bar, again adding to his tally this afternoon and really playing a captain's part. 21 minutes gone. Clarecastle 3 goals and 13 points. Ballyea 1 goal and 10. And since that Ballyea goal, Clarecastle have replied with 3 points, 3 consecutive points. Shane O'Neill again awaiting instructions from Tom Stackpool. Number 18, Pete Devitt, going on for Ballyea. And coming off, of course, is midfielder Alan Carrick. Tony Griffin grabs this one. Tony beaming down the 21-yard line inside the semicircle, trying to get in, but he's fouled and it's a free in again for Ballyea. Good position there from Tony Griffin, and a good attack also from Tony Griffin. And again, there's a bit of excitement going on at this end of the field. As Shane O'Neill again is going to make his way up. This would be fairy tale stuff if Shane could sink this one. 3-13 for the Magpies from Clarecastle, 1-10 for the fellow parishioners from Ballyea. 22 minutes gone in the second half, 8 minutes left. Can he do it again? If he does, we'll have some finish. Ballyea players inside just on the edge of the small square. As Shane comes up, and as I said, he can hit a cracker when he hits it. Up it comes, it's low, it's hard, it's blocked out in the line, but it comes out to Tony Griffin, but it comes out to the far side, and Eric Flynn, I think, is out there. Eric trying to get it away. Again, there's a man on the ground, but referee Tom Stackpool blows the whistle. Now there's another Clarecastle man on the ground. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on in there. I remember it's often referred to as handbag stuff. Again, Shane O'Neill making his way back to the goals. As Tom Stackpool, again, there's still a Clarecastle man on the ground, and I think it's Eric Flynn that's on the ground. I think I see number 5 on his back. But again, Clarecastle 3-13, Ballyea 1-10. 7 points for Clarecastle in the second half, a goal and 4 points for Ballyea. Shane O'Neill with the goal. Referee Tom Stackpool looking around, looking for the ball. It arrives at the feet of Brian Chambers. And quite a number of players here on the 21-metre line. It's Tom trying to get room to throw it in. He eventually gets to throw it in, but it comes across to Ger Kenny. Ger first times it down along the far side of the field, but coming across to John Griffin. John Griffin, Ken Ralph is there as well. Eamon Griffin is there. Eamon tries to get it up to Donald Chambers. But Donald is tackled again on the 45-metre line, and it's going to be a free in once again for Ballyea. They need a goal, and they need a goal fast. And again, Shane O'Neill is coming up to take this one. 45 metres out. Tony Griffin is standing over it. Shane is coming up again. Now this would go down, dare I say it, in a county hurling final as one of the all-time greats. Let's see what happens. Up he comes. He is now 45 metres out. It's low, it's hard, it's going in. Oh, it nearly went all the way into the back of the net, but it's coming out by Larry Flynn, coming out to the far side of the field. He gets in his shot down this side. John Griffin is there with the board captains. John Griffin, the ball goes over the line, and it's a line ball for Clarecastle. Tony Griffin trying to take it. Obstruction there from one of the Clarecastle men, Jonathan Clancy, that was. As Tony Griffin stands over this one inside his own 45, a long ball right across the centre. It comes in, it's collected this time by Keith Devitt. He's sending it over, but the ball goes wide. Once again for Ballyea, again as they try and cut down this Clarecastle lead. Time is running out rapidly for them. 25 and a half minutes gone here in the second half. And coming off the Clarecastle team is Eric Flynn, and Eric is going to be replaced by number 19, Jason Considine. So Jason Considine going on to the Clarecastle team, replacing number 5, Eric Flynn. I see also down there, number 17 is Ollie Plunkett, and Ollie is going to replace number 2, Mark McNamara. So Mark McNamara coming off, Ollie Plunkett going on, Eric Flynn coming off, and Jason Considine going on here for the last 4 minutes of the senior championship final. Clarecastle looking very, very good once again for another title. Ger Griffey with the puck out. John Griffin is under it, so also is Ken Ralph. It doesn't get to any of them. Brian Chambers is there. Brian is there. Stephen Sheedy is there trying to make room for himself. Sends it in to Ken Ralph. He scoops it across the far side, but Jonathan Clancy is there also. Kevin Sheehan is there. Number 7, Ian Cullum Gavin is there as well, but the ball comes out to Keith Devitt all alone. The man with the blonde hair sends in a low ball, but it only goes to Anthony Daly, the man he's marking. And Anthony again setting up a long attack. Shawnee Maloney is under it down there, sending it across. That's Danny Scanlon, I think, across the centre. Michael Hare there all on his own. Michael, as I said, a powerful year he's having at cornerback for Clarecastle. Up they go for it. Anthony Daly is there. So also is Ali Plunkett, Connor Plunkett. Connor coming out, started as centre forward, now it's centre back, selling a dummy there to Paddy O'Connell and sending the ball into the centre. Again they go out for it, but again Eamon Griffin is out there, and Eamon setting up yet another Ballyea attack. They need a goal, they need it fast. We're in the 27 minutes of this game. It comes down to Denny Scanlon out on the far side. The rain is beginning to fall here in Cusack Park. Jonathan Clancy doesn't mind, he has the ball, he sends it across. This time it comes across, is that? Not quite sure who that is. That was maybe Jason Considine that had just come on. Maybe Jason decided to have a crack there. It didn't work. A short puck out from Shane O'Neill. It comes to Tony Griffin. Tony on his own 45. A long ball is dropping. It's dropping, and it's dropped straight over the bar. A tremendous score from Tony Griffin. Once again, leaving the score after 28 minutes. 2 minutes left in this county senior hurling final. Kevin Walsh getting instructions from Tom Stackpole. Clarecastle 3-13. Ballyea 1-11. The wind behind them, it's getting dark, it's getting misty, and it's getting very, very close. It's been too late for Ballyea to do something about this one, but we never know. Ger Griffey with the puck out, landing inside the 45-metre line. Paddy O'Connell is out there, but so also is Willie DeWitt. That's Jonathan Clancy. Jonathan takes one look at the goal. A tremendous score. Again, as I said, he'd be playing in a minor final very shortly, maybe in a week's time, sending that one straight over the bar, stretching once again the Clarecastle lead. 314 to 111, Clarecastle lead. They surely now have booked yet another county championship title. Number 16, Ray Flannery, is coming on to the Ballyea side. Well, Ballyea, to their credit, made the Magpies fight all the way for this one. It's not over yet, but it doesn't look good for them, but credit to them, what a tremendous year they've had. And the ball goes inside to Donald Chambers. Donald is tackled, he's robbed by Joe Griffey, who sends the ball down to Brian Chambers. And I'm credit to him, what a game he's had throughout the second half. A long, long ball from out the field. That was from Colm Gavin. Colm, that ball goes to the right, it goes wide. And we're moving in to the final minute of the game, and quite dark it's getting here in Cusack Park. Ger Griffey with the puck out. The wind is picking up. Up goes the one-hander, Paddy O'Connell. And it drops down to the man we were talking about, that was Ray Flannery. Ray Flannery is going to be tackled by Jason Considine. Jason getting the ball into the first side. John Casey is in there. Again, Tomas Chambers is in there getting the ball across to the far side. Eamon Griffin with this one. John Griffin, that was the captain of the team, sending the ball across to Colm Gavin on the far side of the field. He's going to be tackled, but the ball goes up and out there, all on his own, is Anthony Daly. The handed pass comes into the centre here to the other Clarecastle. Looks like Dennis Scanlon, not quite sure of that, sending the ball out to Jonathan Clancy. I am certain of that, sends the ball across to the far side of the field. And now there's a bit of shamozzle going on the far side of the field. Eamon Griffin I see in there as well. And again, I can see here right in the centre, something else going on here in the centre. And now there's quite a melee with players coming in from the side. Now this is not the finish that we wanted to this county senior hurling final. Quite a number of players, quite a number of substitutes and officials coming on to this one. And what you see there on your screen is just a combination of players. There's certainly no need for this, but we're into injury time in this county final. All the players are in there. The hands are up in the air of Stephen Sheedy. And really in injury time, it's bringing an end to the senior hurling final. Clarecastle 3 goals and 14 points. Ballyea 1 goal and 11. And I think everything now has been sorted out. Referee Tom Stackpool opening the book, speaking to linesmen Kevin Walsh and Fergie McDonough. Anthony Daly in there also. Everybody been sent away. Kevin Walsh, Fergie McDonough, Tom Stackpool, 2 linesmen and referee trying to sort this one out. Everybody back on the sideline that there should be. All players so far on the field. 314 for Clarecastle, 111. It's certainly now heading for Magpie Country, the Canon Hamilton in 2003. Discussion still going on. 3-6 to 6 points was the half-time score. No goal for Clarecastle in the second half. Full back line in Ballyea, and indeed the backs themselves have tightened up quite a bit. 1 goal and 5 for Ballyea here in the second half. Referee Tom Stackpool again going back talking to Fergie McDonough and to Kevin Walsh. And now he'll go in search of some players. He's searching for quite a number of players, and this could take quite a while. First player he has his hand on is Stephen Sheedy. Stephen with number 6 on his back. Stephen Sheedy possibly being one of the players. Yes, Stephen would be one of the players. And there's some other player coming into place. That looks like that is Tony Griffin. He's speaking to both players. Right now, as I said, 33 minutes, 40 seconds gone here in the second half. We're well into injury time. Let's see what happens. It's a yellow card for Stephen Sheedy. And it's a red card also for Stephen Sheedy and for Tony Griffin here at the end of the Senior Championship final. Stephen Sheedy and Tony Griffin both been sent off here well into the 4th minute of injury time here. As Stephen Sheedy coming off the sideline. Now the rain is absolutely belting down here, and Tom Stackpool in search. It's going to be a throw-in to get this game up and running again. Clarecastle, as I said, well underway. 3-14, 2-1-11. 9 points ahead. Now 34 minutes. 34 minutes and 40 seconds gone in the second half. It's just a matter of time before Clarecastle and Kinralph capture yet another County Senior Hurling Championship title. It was expected, but quite an entertaining game and quite a battle for the men from Ballyea. In the ball goes, in the fight for it. The ball comes back to the far side. Hard to visualise who's over there, but it makes no difference who's over there because referee Tom Stackpool blows the whistle, and there in the 2003, the Clarecastle Magpies capture yet another County Senior Hurling Championship title. It was a novel pairing right from the start. As fellow parishioners, as I said, 1909 was the last time, and O'Callaghan's Mills did that. And ironically, only the Clarecastle parish were in a position to do it on this occasion. They did it. Disappointment for Ballyea, but credit, and what a credit it was for throughout the year for a superb championship in qualifying for the final. We now know they have the Senior B Championship title to play for, and now once they get focused on that, they will be up, and they're playing Tubber in that in a while, but all credit this afternoon must go to the Magpies from Clarecastle. Right from the very start, favourites, the strongest of favourites going into this, but then again favouritism wins you nothing, and in the end that's the way it wins. Clarecastle 3 goals and 14 points, Ballyea 1 goal and 11.
Is Milam Cobardas Agual dan Faroshta Starol Shop a vi partner against the Canish and Yo. Ga the Shincher on 10 Faroshta 1, but God Starol Eshen, obviously is Milam Arish, Cobardas Agual, and I'd like you to put your hands together and give a good round of applause to the 2 senior teams from the great parish of Clarecastle. Both teams sincerely on getting to the final here today. Commiserations to Ballyea. I think when the dust settles, they will realise that they have made tremendous progress over the last few years in winning the junior championship, then the intermediate championship, and qualifying for the senior final here today. It's a learning experience. I wish them well in the senior B, and I know that Ballyea will be back and will contest many senior finals, and hopefully will bring the trophy home to the other part of that historic parish. So well done, Ballyea. But really, no doubt about it today, and I think there's been no doubt about it since early times in this championship, that this trophy, the Canon Hamilton Trophy, was only destined for one parish, and that was for the parish of Clarecastle. And I have to say that I admire the way this particular team has progressed over the last 2 years. So congratulations to the team, to the panel, to Tom Howard and his management committee, and to the whole, everyone involved in Clarecastle. Tremendous progress over 2 years. And I know that while you'll be wearing the Magpie jersey and wearing it proudly here in 2 weeks' time, that you'll be representing Clare, and on behalf of the people, all Gaels in Clare, we wish you the very best of luck in the Munster Club Championship. So well done, Clarecastle. one man who did his fair share and maybe more than his share of making sure that this trophy goes to the village of Clarecastle is your captain, Ken Ralph. I have great pleasure in presenting this trophy, the Prestige Trophy in Clare hurling, to Clarecastle and to your captain, Ken. So well done. And just before Ken makes his speech, I know he's trying to make a long speech, I want to compliment Tom Stackpool and his people on the way they refereed and the way they administered the game today. So well done to Tom Stackpool and his team.
Sorum, an Cornshaw had Laka, Son Fernie Mani, Clara had a Cara! I'm blank. It makes me very proud to accept this famous cup on behalf of a most dedicated and determined bunch of men. A bunch of men who have, over the last 2 years, been striving with great commitment and a defiant will for this victory. We all know, it's no secret, Clarecastle people love their hurling. And it's with that in mind, I'd like to dedicate this victory to all those loyal supporters who took it on the chin and stood behind us on the bad days and are here today. And I hope this victory goes in some way in repaying that loyalty. As always, there's a few people down there I'd like to thank. Although I think there's one of them up here. There's Sergey.
He's down, he's been interviewed over there.
I'd like to thank Anthony Daly, who started out this year as a selector and ended up as a hurler. I'd like to thank Fergie O'Loughlin, who started out this year as a hurler and ended up as selector. Now, we haven't figured it out yet whether it was Anthony becoming a hurler or Fergie becoming a selector was the secret of our success. But two proud and dedicated clubmen who've given everything they have, not just this year, but every year, for the beloved black and white jersey. I suppose every setup needs a cool man, and by God have we got one. One of the coolest men I've ever seen. He's not prone to panic attacks, just coolly observes everything and gets on with the job. The calm and influence of the setup, and a vital ingredient. I'd like to thank the ice cool Pat Healy. The next man I'd like to thank was a warrior as a player. I don't think he ever took a step backwards in his life. And I'm glad to say he's taken all those qualities into his role as a selector. A true legend of Clarecastle hurling, the one and only Victor O'Loughlin. The head man of the operation had an exceptional playing career, and to the delight of the players took over as manager last year. He made progress and got a relatively young team to 4 finals last year and was still bitterly disappointed. Thankfully for us, he came back more ruthless and determined this year. He now joins a small group of Clarecastle men who have won a championship as a player and a manager, and I know he'll take great satisfaction in this victory I'd like to hear a big cheer for the irrepressible Tommy Howard. Jack Charlton once wrote in one of his books, one of the best kitmen he ever worked with was an Irishman called Charlie O'Leary. Well, Jack, you've never seen Neville O'Halloran. A man who goes above and beyond the call of duty for no other reason, only for his love of Clarecastle hurling. Gertie, take a bow. I'd also like to thank the professionalism of our medical team, namely Heather Thompson, Steve Cannon and Mark Brownlee, for their help throughout the year. They got injured players back quicker than was thought possible. And if any of you have an ache, pain or ailment, get into the NS Chiropractic Clinic and they'll have you do somersaults in no time. Nearly finished. Over the last number of years, there's been various selectors and managers, especially of this team, who aren't lucky enough with a day like today. Today I'd like to acknowledge their efforts in the improvement and the groundwork and the development of this team, and to say that today's victory wouldn't be possible without their great work over the years. I'd like to thank Gerald Loughlin for his work over the last number of weeks, along with Niall Toohey and Mary Lawler for their great work throughout the year. I'd like to thank our sponsors, especially Rosh Ireland, Neil Casey, Midwestern Isle, and Michael McMahon, the coach house, for his generosity over the last couple of weeks. On a personal level, I'd like to thank my own family and friends for their great support over the years. They mightn't always think it, but that support is greatly appreciated. To Ballyea, geez, you're tough horse. I suppose there's nothing I can say that's going to make you feel any better. All I can say, lads, is we were in your boots this time last year, so we do know how you feel. But what I can say without any contradiction is you've captured the imagination of all hurling people in Clare with the strides you've made this year. And I'm sure with the experience that you've gained this year and the determination that you have, it won't be long before you're coming up these steps. And when that happens, me and all these Clarecastle people down here will be 100% behind you. I'd also like to thank our great secretary, Greg Fogarty, our club chairman, Martin Reynolds, for helping us out throughout the year. Never lost faith in this team, along with all the other club officials and underage mentors, the whole way up to Peter Cosgrove. And to finish off with 3 cheers for Ballyea. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thank you very much.
Another award before we go. I'll ask Pascal Hyde on behalf of Martin Donnelly Industrial to announce the winner and to present the trophy. The winner of the top score is Ken Rath.
Well, it's very, very seldom on a county final day for one person has a leg in both camps. Would I be correct in saying that, Fergie?
In a way, I suppose still. I suppose I had a leg in both camps in the training up to 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I had a serious decision and a very difficult decision to make, and training both camps. And I think it was clear cut. At the end of the day, I'm a Clarecastle man. I'm a blooded Magpie. I played here in the county final last year and was disappointed. And the choice I had to make, I think, it was understandable to everybody. I can't train both teams to beat each other, and the lead up to the final was important to Clarecastle, and I had to go with Clarecastle, and I made a decision, and it was Clarecastle. And I think there's no problem with it. There's no problem with that.
We'll talk about Clarecastle in a moment, but it's been an absolutely tremendous year for Ballyea. Not alone just for hurling in general throughout the county. They've been a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely, it's been a roller coaster for Ballyea. I went out there on March the 17th for my first training session out there. St. Paddy's Day it was, and I remember 28 or 29 lads turning up for training. That told the whole story for me. I knew how dedicated they were from that day on. It has been a roller coaster for them. They've worked tremendously hard in Ballyea. You know, you only have to look back until last year, and it's been highlighted well. They struggled to stay up in their statue at Senior B. This year they're in a Senior A county final, they're in a Senior B final. It talks for itself still, there's no doubt about it. They're a brilliant bunch of guys, and today just wasn't their day, but they'll learn from today, and today will be a big stepping stone for Ballyea. I know disappointment will be there, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised any other way, but this is a big day for Ballyea, and this will be rewarded. They're a great bunch of lads and they work tremendously hard, but it has been a good roller coaster year for them.
Before we go to the Magpies, will it be difficult to get Ballyea focused now on that Senior B final?
Not at all. You know, today and tomorrow and a few days down the line, Ballyea will be disappointed, and you can only expect that. But when we get back out to Ballyea again and we start training for the Senior B final, there's no doubt they'll focus into that. That has been their target at the start of the year, and I think without a shadow of a doubt they'll put up a mighty battle to bring that Senior B championship back to the parish. And I've no doubts about their abilities and their character and their passion. Absolutely, just no doubt. They'll focus in, they'll tune in, they'll get their feet back on the ground again. And Ballyea should celebrate tonight. Absolutely disappointment. Ballyea should celebrate tonight. It's been, as you said, it's been unique for hurling in Clare. It's been unique for the little parish outside there. And fair play to them.
The last time Clarecastle won the Senior County Championship, they went on to capture provincial honours.
That's right.
Is that firmly on the focus at the moment?
Well, from tomorrow onwards, we'll be focusing on that. Today was one set mind. We're coming up here to beat Ballyea. No word of the Munster club for the last few weeks in training. We had one job to do, that was to beat Ballyea in county final day. We've done that, absolutely. We'll be sitting down now, we'll be setting out our programme to capture the Munster club championship. Absolutely, we're hungry in Clarecastle, and a lot of people were saying during the week that sure, Clarecastle have won enough. Clarecastle, it'd been lovely to see Ballyea win it. Clarecastle needed this so badly. It's been 97 since we have the Hampton at home. Now we have it home. Absolutely, we'll be concentrating on the Munster club title.
Will there be a leg in both camps again next year?
Time will tell. I've had a difficult situation this year, and I've worked tremendously hard. I think, and I butter my own bread, but I've worked tremendously hard. I probably have exhausted myself in both sides of the camp, but I've been honoured, and the way these lads, both sets of camps, Clarecastle and Ballyea, have reacted to the training, reacted to me. I think it's been, and you know, when you get a silverware, it's easy come back and it's easy do things. And if Ballyea get the Senior B, which they will, championship under their belt, you know, I'll reassess it. You know, it's a big commitment, and time will tell.
Fergie, it's been tremendous what you've achieved this year with both clubs, so well done on that.
Thanks, Sil.
Best of luck to you and to Clarecastle in the Munster club.
Thanks very much, Sil. Cheers.
Okay, well done.
Thanks.
Now I'm joined by two outstanding captains, of course, in different roles down through the years. Anthony, of course, captain of the county for many times, and of course Kinralph, captain of Clarecastle today. Anthony, what does it feel like yet again to be top of the Roll of Honour in Clare?
It is, I suppose, most of all, it is a great feeling of satisfaction, you know, because we're really conscious. While we'd always rate ourselves as a power and a stronghold in Clare hurling, we've lost an awful lot of finals and maybe felt we left a lot of championships after us. So, you know, starting off any year, you're only thinking, is it possible? Could we win it? And we've been contenders every year for maybe the last 5 years, and we won it 6 years ago. But we haven't got there. We haven't crossed the finish line, and you know, we were in the final last year and didn't do the business. But great feeling of satisfaction. That's the overriding thing. The 10th championship is on the way to the village, and thrilled over that.
No matter how many county finals you play in from now on, hardly any will be more unusual than this.
Yeah, well, I won't be playing anymore now.
Is that a retirement statement?
Well, no, I'm sure we Munster club. But no, I mean, yeah, it was very unusual, and unique, I suppose. But the other thing about it was, I suppose if we met maybe a Rogue in the final or something, there'd be nearly more intense rivalry because we've played in or Newmarket even. We haven't played each other. Like, this is my first time playing Ballyea, and great respect for each other. And we know like Lockie was out with them, and that made it, I suppose, even a bit more awkward for everybody. That if we didn't know them and decided we didn't like them or something, but Lockie had great reports of them and a great bunch of lads, and we had a few drinks with them, I suppose, after most of the matches, and that sort of rapport had built up, and then we heard the semi-final tour, and we just had to knuckle down, I suppose, for the couple of weeks and try and get the result. But it's been a tremendous year for Ballyea as well. Like,
yeah. How difficult, Anthony, was it to get really focused in on winning this title today? Because everybody had said for many times, listen, Clarecastle are going to win it. Nobody mentioned the margin, but Clarecastle were going to win it. Was that difficult to keep the feet on the ground?
Yeah, well, I suppose it doesn't help players, I suppose if you're as along the tooth as myself and this fella here, we came up here in '96 and we were favourites to beat Wolf Tones and went home empty-handed, and days like that. And last year's final was a big help to the younger lads, I never thought I'd see the day where the Bridge beating us by 9 points and be a help to us, but it was a help to us in the long run, in the sense that all of them here were, the fellas who were 22, 3, 21, 17, 18, these guys losing a final, like, they remembered it, and they wanted to get over the finish line today, so it wasn't too hard to focus, fellas, I'd say, and that was a help at the end of the day.
Right. Long in the tooth, Ken, that's what Anthony Daly said, but surely this must be one of your great days. Captain of Clarecastle and man of the match.
It's, as I said, one of my proudest days in sport. I don't know where the man of the match came out of. I suppose it was scrappy and it could have went to anyone, but these things are a team effort, and we were probably in a catch-22 situation. We were expected to win it, and we did win it gladly, but we knew it was going to be a dogfight, and fair just to Ballyea. They came in here, they hit us with everything, but we're delighted to get out of it with the win, of course.
Looking forward to the Munster Club, no doubt?
Yes, as I said, 6 years ago we got to Munster Club. We thought we'd be there every second year. You don't get too many chances at Munster Club, so when we have it now, we're going to take it, hopefully, and hopefully it'll work out okay for us.
And I think that's a home venue, isn't it?
It's the first game's a home venue, yeah, so we'll take it from there. Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm joined here by Martin Reynolds, of course, Cathaoirleach of Clarecastle. Martin, a great day once again for the Magpies.
Oh, it is, absolutely. I think Anthony said it there earlier on. It was the defeat of last year that galvanised us to be pure determined to win it. Obviously we never expected to meet Ballyea in it, and it was hard not to like Ballyea, if you know what I mean. And I suppose that made it for a tense, close game. We always knew it would be a dogfight anyway, and we were confident we were going to win it. But we got there for a finish.
Watching some of the lads out there, and indeed looking forward to a minor final next week. Very young players out there on the Clarecastle side.
Oh, there is, yeah. We have a tremendous underage setup with Dave Page there, and they're doing tremendous work, and we're looking forward to a minor final next week, So things are pretty good for GA and Clarecastle.
Best of luck in the Munster Club, man.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
So, we've finally come to the end of an unusual and indeed an exciting county final. Clarecastle and Ballyea, all from the one parish. Victory to Clarecastle, 3-14 to Ballyea's 1-11 from Joe Finnick. Videos, talk to you soon.